This is a ManeHustle Media podcast.
It sounds like one of the names they would have for a monarch. It's like Queen Javia the First, Black Radical Queer, among queer Negro women.
All the way from the A, you listen to my favorite lesbian on BRQ.
I'm on my black girl magic voodoo shit with the bamboo earrings on some new shit. I'm new when this money asking who this bitch. I'm the bitch with the pussy with the judo grip.
Hey y'all, this is Javia Nicole, aka your favorite lesbian, and you're listening to Black Radical Queer Podcast, our stories on our own terms. All right, hey y'all, this is Javia Nicole. Welcome back to Black Radical Queer Podcast. Today I actually have a previous guest who is returning, so somehow agreed to deal with my foolishness again, so I'm very grateful. Of course, I'm going to allow him to introduce himself. I'm sure you all will probably recognize his voice, and we're going to focus on something a little different than our last conversation, but I definitely wanted to bring him back to talk about this. So you can go ahead and say hey to the people.
Hey, everybody. It's XaChris, and I am the owner of the paper company, which is a hat and clothing company. And of course, I love to be back on the show. It's always a good time to talk with somebody who is basically like me, like we're Black, we're queer, and we're just talking through all the shit, I guess, of life. Basically, it's just basically that's it. Cause I've listened to other episodes, and it's just we're all different, but we face a lot of the same things, just being Black and queer folks. So it's just really good to be back and be able to talk, and it's like family. It's coming back and getting talking with your family. It's always good. You might not do it every day, but when you get back on the phone, it's hey, yeah,
let's catch up. What you been?
Right, exactly. So
that's definitely kind of where I was coming from, because when I saw you posting, in our original episode, we briefly mentioned the paper company because we talked about the Black Trans and Gifted tees, and then I had been kind of just following you for a while, so I was familiar with the name and stuff, but when I saw you posting about it around your birthday, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
So I was like, oh yeah, this would definitely be a good time to have him come back and just kind of focus on that a little bit more, because it was more so a quick little blurb in a much larger, broader conversation. But, I saw just your post, and you were just, asking folks to support. And I felt definitely a good way to support would be to have you back on so you can share with the listeners just kind of about how you started it, what motivated you, kind of what is your brand, what's the vision behind your brand, and what you have to offer. So I just wanted to give you some time to be able to share and just really kind of go from there. Because I mean, so far what I've seen, I definitely like the style. I think your style is dope anyway, so biased, but I think it would be really cool, for everybody to be able to hear the backstory from you.
Yeah. And like you said, it was just a little portion of the last time, but also I hadn't launched yet, and I was still working through a lot of things. So it was cool just to say, about the shirt, because even after that shirt, I had the, because of, Trump and the memo coming out about how he was, defining trans people and things like that. So then I came out, with the Too Brave to Be Erased tee, which did really well too. And this is this is just things the first shirt, and then that shirt came out of basically things that were going on socially, that impacted me.
Yeah. Strong statement. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. That impacted me. And it was something that I had to put out there before I even put out my, the whole business, just because it's these are things that are happening now. And it was it was just something I could have waited, but it was those are things that I want to get out. And it's funny because even just doing those two shirts kind of made me realize how important certain things are, because I didn't share the picture, but when I did do the Too Brave to Be Erased shirts, because they're more inclusive, the Black Trans Gift shirt was for Black people, for Black folks. That's us. That's our thing. That's like our people. That's
and
us.
specifically for Black trans people too, because it's like Black trans people don't have a lot of things that it's like, hey, this is just for Black trans folks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's try to do this whole umbrella thing a lot of times, and I'm like, okay, well, everybody can have stuff for themselves too, and especially I think that's especially the case with like Black trans folks, because sometimes people, they say like LGBT, but they kind of, the way they act is like the T is silent, which really bothers me.
Right.
So I thought it was, pretty dope that it's like, no, this is specifically Black trans and gifted.
Right. Exactly. And that's what it was for. So for the, Too Brave to Be a Race, it was like all trans inclusive. So it's all trans people. And I had a lady basically just, like, hey, do you make kid sizes? And I was like, I don't, but
that would be so dope. Oh, I
was like, but, like and I went to her page and basically has a trans son. And it was like, just like reading it, because I kind of, went back all through her page or whatever. And basically, it started out, just with like being, not really gender specific with her kid, because, they were showing signs of, being different and things like that, and wanting to dress different. And then it became more apparent that her child was trans, and she embraced that. And so basically I was just like, you know what? Like, you don't have to buy one. Just tell me what size he needs, and I'll make it, and I'll send it to you. And that's what I did. And she shared it or whatever. And I didn't share it because I didn't want, like, to put that out there, like, oh, this is what I'm doing. It was just kind of like, I knew I had done it, and I just wanted to do something. Yeah, I just wanted to do that for that kid, because it's like, man, people always, tell me or other trans people, like, oh, you're brave for what you're doing. But it's like, man, this kid I think he's like 5 or 6 years old. And it's just like, this is just, it's so amazing. And that, like, when I saw it, I ain't gonna lie, like, I started tearing up when I saw it, because I was just like, this is just like it was like one of the greatest things, like, I had experienced.
Awesome. That shows you that impact, though, because that's awesome. It's like, that's what you want to see, because we do need to have a world where our trans kids are not afraid to just grow up and be themselves, where they can just have their childhood, whatever that looks like, and not feel like they're boxed in, or, feel like they have to do it in some kind of hidden way, or, where it just kind of like starts to decrease that stigma. And so it helps to have people to look to, because that's something in another episode, me and my guest, we were talking about that. And I'm like, he asked me a question, and I was just like, I never thought of that. But he was like, yeah, who did you look to when you were growing up? Like, who did you look to as examples of like possibly like how your life could be or how you could be, and who looked like you and who, resonated with you? And I was like, that's a really good question. I couldn't think of anybody. Like, he was just like, who did you see who loved like you love, and who, gave you that like hope for the future? And I was like, dang, So it's that do this kind of stuff is important, that you have that, because that's that visibility that is making that child's narrative different. It doesn't have to be like mine, where I'm like, oh, actually, I don't know, or I can't think of anybody. They can say, oh, well, there was a Black trans man who had, who has his own clothing line or whatever, and had this, that, and the third. And so it's like they have something they can pull from, some kind of experience they can pull from, that where they can say, oh, well, this is something that this is someone who I could identify with at a young age, as opposed to, oh, I just felt so isolated and so alone, and nobody understood, or I didn't see anybody who reminded me of myself, because we need to see ourselves reflected. And so I think that's so impactful, because you were able to see that for a child. Like, that's
right. Yeah, and like I said, it just like was one of the, one of my greatest experiences, just being an adult and who I am. So it was just amazing. So, and then I had to like get somebody together in my comments, because they were just like asking me like where the money was going and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm Black and I'm trans, and I'm out here trying to make it myself. Like, this money is going to me. I was like, but
it's my business. Like, what do you mean?
Exactly. Like, because like, I'm like, no, but like, I do give people, free shirts, and I do other stuff. I volunteer, and I, like, there's plenty of times, like, not just, not saying no names or nothing, but plenty of times that I've done things for people just and I don't put it out there because a lot of people feel like you have to, in the age of social media, like you have to say the things that you're doing. But exactly, it's been plenty of times like I've talked to a lot of trans guys, especially Black trans guys, going through stuff because we all struggle, but especially as Black trans people, we're put in certain positions, like especially early in transition and like trying to find jobs, trying to balance family, all that kind of stuff goes into it, and it's overwhelming. And so it's like plenty of guys I've talked to, like stayed up with on the phone all night trying to talk to them, like to not commit suicide or not to, do things that, they don't need to do. Like, hey, it's hard out here, but we can make it. Like, just stay strong, all this other kind of stuff. There's been plenty of people like my homeboy, he just hit me up yesterday and was just like, happy belated birthday. He was like, what's your Cash App? And I was like, like, what's going on? He's like, nah, I just want to, thank you because like when he got top surgery, which was like over a year ago, I sent him a care package, just like, hey, you haven't, yeah. And it was just like, that's just things I like to do because it's like, it's needed. We're a community, but sometimes it needs to really feel like a community. And I feel like if I can be a little part of that, then that's what I want to do. So
I think the thing too is that's very, very important. And I think it bothers me that someone, asks you basically kind of like, where's the money going and all that kind of stuff. And my thing is, okay, so I don't know. And some people might not agree with me on this, but hey, it's my opinion and it's my shit. So I'm going to say how I feel. So it trips me out because I feel like sometimes people get so caught up in causes. So they get so caught up in looking at really our identities or looking at the identity of Black trans people as a cause that they forget about the individuals. And so in that situation of asking you, well, where's the money going, all that kind of stuff, it is not less valid for the money to go to you as opposed to it going to, let's say, some charity, some fund, some
right.
Because you living your Black ass life is still very much a revolutionary act and still something that you deserve to be able to do on your own terms. So it's like it's not like, oh well, this money isn't being utilized like to it like as well as it should because it's going. No, like your survival is important. You thriving is important. You being able to have your own agency and like have your own business and benefit from that is important. So that's no less important than supporting some broader cause. We have to remember there's individuals behind these things. So everything isn't a cause. Like it's something we have to look at like on the macro and a micro level. So we have to look at it like, hey, as a group or as a demographic, Black trans people are going through this, and this, but these are also individual as people with their own lives, their own livelihoods, their own personality, everything. We can't just look at it like in a monolithic way. And we have a tendency, like a lot of times people have a tendency to do that. So when they're talking about, oh, where's the money going? To my Black ass, what do you mean? I'm doing the work. You should be compensated for your work, for your creativity, for the things that you're creating. So it's like, it doesn't have to go somewhere else to be more valid. And so, yeah, that just is something that bothers me because that's something that I realized and something I've noticed too, even from me trying to do my shirts and stuff. And I noticed like people, if it's like a fundraiser for some cause and folks like, oh yeah, I'll do it. But I'm like, this is for my own sustainability. Like, and, kind of look at it differently.
Yeah. That threw me for a little bit. Like I said, I had to get them together, but of course they were, you know who they were. It's always white people. It's always white people, and they always be coming for Black folks. You know what I'm saying? It's like always. Like I've seen that like certain comments like that on a lot of like different Black organizations or all this, but it's like when it comes to white organizations. Like white people don't be asking them where the money going. Like why? Like,
ooh,
like you know what I'm saying? Like right. Hey, I know it.
They're not asking it. That's for real. Money just be disappearing. Ain't
right,
nobody
exactly. Ain't nobody asking
trips and stuff. But you're not asking where the money going. Okay.
Right. But every penny of mine you trying to count. It's like, first of all, I put so much of my own money into this. Like I'm like bare. It's like you. Basically, like just trying to break even most of the time, because it's like it takes a lot. It takes a lot, and it's like, okay, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm helping and I'm giving and I'm, you know what I'm saying? But you want to count my dollars. But
they don't do everybody like that. That's the thing. It's like exactly what you said, because they don't do everybody like that. Like
yes.
I just saw this story about this couple, or it's like something about the guy was pretending to be homeless or something, and they had raised all this money or something.
Right,
it was like
where he supposedly helped her, gave her his last $20 to get her some gas. And
and I'm like, it was a scam. And I'm like, so y'all are perfectly fine with this and y'all go along with it, but that just goes to show like what they see as valid and what they don't see as valid.
Right,
because it's
exactly.
Like, if you're not, because I'm a Black person or something, then obviously I'm trying to get over. Obviously I'm doing something shady. And it's like, y'all are the main ones who be doing this extortion and, up there funneling money from this account to that one and doing all this crazy illegal shit. So
yeah, but see, that's white collar crime. So, it's that white, in there.
Right.
I mean, basically,
that good old fashioned embezzlement, like,
Exactly.
People, that's what trips me out. I'm like, okay, so you want to, clog every last one of my dollars, but you probably just got schemed yesterday by somebody you thought was like, okay.
Exactly. So, yeah, but it's crazy. But so like I said, my company's name is the Paper Company, and for licensing purposes or trademark purposes, the Paper Co. Limited Apparel.
So the Paper Company name, how did you decide on the name?
So my nickname is Paper. Like, I've had it since I was 4 years old. My sister gave it to me. Yeah. So
I'm like, I've always seen something about paper like associated with you. Probably the whole time I've known you, I never knew why.
Yes, so that's my family's nickname for me. They call me Paper, everybody. And so I've had that nickname since I was 4 years old. I got it tatted on my leg.
Like, was there something that happened that made them give you that nickname?
Yes. So when I was around that age, my mom would tear strips of brown paper bag to like curl my hair up or something, like like some old stuff. So
that's some good old country curls right there.
Right, yeah. Yes. So my sister saw that and just started calling me Paper, and so it just stuck somehow, and that's just like, and like I didn't even they had to tell me that story, but it's like I just grew up and just knew everybody called me Paper. That was it. And so, I just, as you get older and stuff, you embrace it. When I was like a teenager and, people would hear my family calling me Paper, I was like, yeah, it's because, I'm real lucky with money. And I had like a whole thing.
Money. That's why they call me Paper.
Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I've been a hustler since I was younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, doing a whole lot.
You was on your Jay-Z.
Right. But, I definitely, because I used to have a clothing line years ago, probably almost 8 or 9 years ago already. But I had a business partner then, and things were good for a little minute. I was basically we went in with our money and I did most of the designs, but things just got kind of shaky when I, decided to transition, and, we ended up not talking. At the very base of it, I thought we were friends, but, certain situations, you come to find out that, people ain't your friends, and it was just we stopped working together, and because we worked at our regular 9 to 5 job together too, and I noticed we didn't talk as much before he even quit. He quit that job, but before that it was we talked together when we were at work, but then we stopped hanging out outside of work as much. But I just thought because he had a kid, and I think just life. I didn't think nothing of it until he quit, and then I never heard from him again until maybe it was last year sometime.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. And he hit me up on Facebook from some shady account. It was just hey, this is me. Give me a call. And I was like, what? And so then I Right. So I called him and like, hey, like, what's up? And so basically like he jumped back in like nothing was wrong, like nothing had happened. He was just like, I had to get my right.
Pump the brakes, like years. This is years, bruh. Like this is
exactly
like what
exactly.
you just like, yeah, so what's gonna be our next shirt? What?
Yeah, like just jump back in and was
what?
Right, exactly. And it was crazy because like it was like I had a falling out with this lady at the job or whatever, and him and her were really cool. But it was like crazy because like me and her fell out like after he had left, which I mean I didn't understand it, and it's so weird because she's kind of like the reason that I'm out here in Portland, because like we were cool and she's the one who told me like it was like a good place to come, like if I was like trying to get access to better healthcare for trans related things. So it's like so weird. And it was like I was going through my old phone and I saw this note that I'd made of like places for employment that she gave me. So it was like so weird that we fell out, but it's just she's older and she had like an issue, and also when I like, even though she knew I was starting to transition, I guess it was like once I really got into it and was like on my hormones and stuff like that, and was it's like she
it's not just something that we're talking about, like
it's something I'm actually doing. And it's like right, and it's so weird because like she's a black lesbian, and it was weird for her to like switch up on me like that. And
that was weird, but oh my God, as a black lesbian, I have encountered so many transphobic black, like I used to be in, because I mean I've already said on the podcast that I'm poly. I used to be in a lot of like, not a lot, but a few like poly LGBT groups or whatever, really like 2. And I remember like just this chick said something so transphobic and I just went off. Like I got kicked out. I got kicked out of the group because I went in on her. I was like, are you kidding me? It's so rampant, and like the people who were agreeing with her, and I was just like, y'all sound ridiculous. Like you don't understand how fucking hypocritical you are being. But so I wish I could say that was surprising, but it's just not. Like
yeah,
it's just hypocrite.
Right. And I think, and a lot of it, I think the shock was more so that I thought we were cool, but then it's like I realized a lot of people that thought I was cool, and it's like, you know what? You need to listen to your mama, because everybody ain't your friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I felt like I had been so naive, but like, that's just like they say, everything is a journey, and then my transition has been a journey. And
you may know, until sometimes you just don't know until a situation arises where you find out. Like never know. It's people who I thought would be down for me. It's folks who, before I came out, when I was thinking about coming out, it's people who I thought would accept me who shut me down. Like it's folks who I thought would be my friend to this day who I don't even talk to anymore. It's like you never know how some stuff may play out. It's like, we grow up, we learn. So it's just interesting that, this person tried to pop back up in your life.
Right. It was weird. Like, and the stuff that he was saying, the reason why I brought her up is because like I said, they were real close, and like me and her fell out, never talked to her again. But I found out like through like people that that I was my real people that I was cool with that like worked there and stuff like that. I found out like after I left, like she said a lot of stuff, but then she like tried to switch it and made it seem like me and her were cool again. She was saying it because she done moved back out here. I haven't seen her since she moved back out here, because she used to live out here. But she done moved back out here because her kids and stuff live out here. But she was telling people when she was moving back out here that I was going to get her on at my job. And like, and then when the guy called, he was telling me basically like, he was telling me the things that he'd heard about me from her. Like there were good things, so to speak, I guess. But
that's still...
It's like, how did you get that from her? Because I don't talk.
Right.
Yeah, like I don't talk to her, but she was making it seemed like that me and her talk, and we don't. And it was just like weird. So I guess that's why he felt like he could just like pop up and be like all buddy. But like that was the first and the last day I talked to him. Like I don't need that in my life. So
he thought that he could do that because he thought she had did that. So he was like, I'm just able to just be like, cool. So let me try the same thing. That's what that was.
Yep. But it's like,
but it's like, no, actually, she didn't do that. She just made y'all think that.
Right. She's lying. She's lying.
That's crazy. So
yeah.
Okay. So with the paper company, how did you decide like when you were going to launch? Because I mean, you've had like what essentially are like special edition shirts, but then you did your launch. So what made you decide to do it around that time? Because you did it on your birthday.
Yes, I did on my birthday.
Like, how did you get from basically having the idea to get into the point of you actually launching?
So I wanted to launch a lot sooner. Like I had planned on launching because I went to Barcelona at the end of September. And it was my goal once I came back to launch, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready, and a lot of it was just I didn't have, the designs I wanted, final. And then also, like, at that point in time, even though I was going on vacation and all this, I was, like, majorly depressed. So it's just like, it just wasn't a good time. But a few weeks, it was like I had my lung collapse. And so I was like sitting at home and I was just like, well, let me, just work on the website. Like I'm at home, I'm in pain, but, I ain't got nothing else to do. So I like just over the last couple of weeks, I just have been working on the website and I worked on some designs, some new designs. And like, because a lot of the designs that are on the site is like stuff that I just came up with in the last few weeks. So I was just like, you know what? Yeah, it was just like, you know what? Like, I think I'm ready. And so I was like, basically I just thought about the year and just how rough it had been for me. And just like, you know what? Like my birthday's coming up. I'm about to be 31. Like, I was like, I'm gonna launch on my birthday. Like, because like, this is like, I feel like this is like the ending and starting of another year of my life. So it's like it's closing out this year and opening up the next year of my life.
Right.
So let me just birth this baby of mine on my birthday. So that's what it was.
A total random side note. I did not know you were older than me. What? Okay. only by a few months. So not by too much. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I thought that you had just turned 30.
No. That was last year. Last year was the big 3-0, but yep, turned 31.
That's crazy. I know, that's so random, but yeah, this was my 30. I'm just like, I can't believe because 31 is right around the corner for me. Dang. My dirty 30 year almost up.
Right.
but I digress. So, okay, so you have your designs, so you said clothing line and hats. So what types of clothing? Is it just shirts? Do you, what kind of size range do you have? So, is it kind of like just standard sizes? Do you do plus sizes? Like, give us a little bit of info on this.
Yeah. Well, so I do shirts. I have sweatshirts. I got hoodies. And the shirts go up to 3X, and the sweatshirts and hoodies go up to 5X. So it's, but I can also do shirts that go up to 5X, but it's just it'll be a little bit more, but right now just on the site I have them up to 3X because I use drop shipping, so it's just like easiest to have that. Everything else, like I said, goes up to 5X. And I'm actually starting to design some like sweatsuits, so like like a top and bottoms and stuff like that. Just trying to like get the design for that down. It's because I have said one of the newest designs that I came up with was the please no photos. And so I want to do like a sweatsuit with that because it's honestly it's my favorite design right now, and it's just like and when before I come out with anything or decide to go with anything, I ask like the people that hold close to me, like, so I asked my sister, and I have a couple friends that I asked, and just like, hey, do you like this? Do you like that? And see what they like about it. obviously I have, final to say, but I just like to put it out
Just to
there
get that little feedback. Yeah.
right. Because because normally my friend and my sister they normally like the same things, but like on certain designs they have opposite views, so like I put that out there and then I asked a couple other friends, but with this design it's like my favorite, and people think that I mean like, oh, don't take no photos of me, but really the idea behind it is basically like the generation that we're living in now, like you have to take photos of everything, and it's like right now I feel
just
like
be in the moment.
Be in the moment, yes. Like, so please, no photos, like just be in the moment, like be in this moment, be present. And it's just like that is like my favorite design, so I'm trying to like I said, put together a little sweatsuit.
I dig that, because that's actually one of my goals. Like, I love photography. I used to really heavy into photography, and it's something I stepped away from. But like, one of the things that I used to take a lot more pictures, and I just stopped because I'm like, you know what? I want to just be in the moment instead of being behind a camera, during this experience or whatever. So some things I'm still going to take my pictures, but not like the entire time, or a lot of times I just won't. And then I'm like, okay, well, I didn't take any pictures. And I used to feel bad about it, but now I'm just like, it's fine. Every time I have a meal, I don't have to take a picture of it. Every time it's just not, I'm okay with it, because it's like, okay, if we're actually living and in the experience and being present, then, that means you're immersed in it, and you could just have the memories, So some things I do want to have pictures of, but I definitely make it a point to not take pictures of everything.
Yeah. And I get that, like, cause you kind of want to have like a memory, but you don't have to take pictures of everything, and it's like you've been there to the places where people like can just have to be on their phone constantly snapping pictures, and it's like I'm trying to like see around you. Can you like put your phone down and but like you said, like I'm the same way. Like I have try to get myself out of that, because I would like take pictures or video like everything and then go back and watch it. Now I will say, like, not every concert, but I'm sorry, I gotta record Beyonce just because it's Beyonce, and I know she'll probably put out a DVD. I don't care. I gotta have it in my phone. Now anybody else?
We went on the run. I got so many pictures and video in my phone. I'm just like, for me.
It's like sometimes you gotta make that exception, but it's like I'm not like every I'm not. Like you say, every plate of my food ain't got to be photographed and put up on the gram. So and I
need to be posted anyway. But I digress.
Yeah. Right.
I don't need no struggle. I really don't.
Right. Yeah. No struggle plates in 2019, please. No struggle plates.
We'll past that, but we're not. Right. My bad. I didn't track. So okay. So that's your favorite design right now. But do you have like anything you would consider to be a signature design? Like let's say just a shirt that just has like. Well, no, I won't even go into all that. Do you at this point have anything that you would say is like your signature thing? Like this is like kind of the classic tee, or like sometimes different companies might have like just something that's classic, that's like timeless, and when you think of that brand, it's like it's instantly recognizable. So do you have anything you feel like is your signature, you want to be your signature design?
I don't feel like I have anything yet, but I feel like if anybody would say, it'd probably be the Black Trans and Gifted. I think people would recognize that the most. But also I do have another one that, I feel like as being out there a little bit more, that, more people would gravitate to it, is a shirt that I call Black Queen Dripped in Gold. And basically it's just like a graphic of a Black woman with the crown, and like she has like this gold background, and she's like literally like dripped in gold. And that's one of my favorte like of all time designs, because I actually designed it.
I'm biased.
But I actually designed it doing graphic work for somebody else, and they didn't like it. And I was like, okay.
I didn't see anything like that, but okay. But that means it was meant for you. So
right, exactly. And it wasn't like she thought it was like ugly or anything. It was just like it didn't fit what she wanted, and what ended up happening really was like she saw like this other design, and it was kind of like that's what she wanted specifically. Like she actually just wanted that design, so she basically ended up contacting that person for it. And because I was, basically just going off what she was saying, but she had in her mind what she wanted, and she wanted that design. So she went and got that one, and I kept what I designed for her, and redid it for myself. And it is, like I said, it's my all-time favorite because it's just like beautiful, and it's black as fuck. Like that's basically what it is. It's like, right. It's like, it's black woman. She's regal and everything. And so, yeah, it's like, I feel like people, once they, really like, get into the brand, they'll be like, because a lot of the designs on there, like, I plan to like switch them out, not have everything available like all the time. But that one is like one of the ones I'll probably keep up there, like, just period, just because it's just that bad of a, like design. It's like, dang, that's that thing right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like basically like the first order from my site that I got was for that shirt. So it's like it just catches people.
I mean, that would be dope to be a signature shirt. I mean, I do definitely think that the Black Trans and Gifted shirt is like bomb. And, it's like I started seeing it pop up, when I would be on my Instagram, other people that I follow, I started seeing it pop up, with them having it. Then I saw this trans guy who I like have a crush on. I have a crush on him and his wife because it just is what it is. I'm like, I got a crush on everything y'all got going on. But then I saw him with him. I was like, oh, snap. But yeah, I just kept scrolling. Like, as I was scrolling through, so I kept seeing people that I follow with the shirts on, and I hope that people caught more of them. I definitely, I could, like, soon as you said you were launching, I'm like, I already have a few people in mind who I know would dig these shirts. So yeah, I mean, I think it's really dope.
Yeah.
So,
and I think I know who you're talking about. Because like they're just like such an awesome couple together, and I just love them both. They're so sweet.
Just like Mifflin,
yes.
Understand?
Yes.
My life. I'm like, Lord, this don't make no sense. First of all, I don't understand. That's a lot of fineness in one relationship. It really don't make no sense. I'm just like,
it's like overload. It's like, man, it's like, man, that's unfair now. Like, but
like, I really feel. But to be fine and also, just really down to earth and really brilliant, and them kind of be parents, which I think is amazing.
Yes.
It just gives me all my life.
Right. I watch his Daddy Chronicles every morning. Yeah. It's like the sweetest thing. Yeah. So I was really excited to see him rock the shirt. I mean, I gave out I was just like, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So that was dope. I'm like, yeah. I mean, the thing is, that's a good thing about having just good designs. People are gonna, pick up on them, and they're gonna resonate with folks. So yeah. That's something that's really awesome that you're able to do, and that you'll just continue doing. So I guess for 2019, what is if you had to think of like a mantra or a mood or something like that for the paper company, what would it be?
Just growth and visibility. That's really all I could wish for. Like, I don't even, because I feel like I'm never the one that really, like, I don't need, like, I mean, granted, if I hit the lotto, like, give me my money. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't really have like that need for just buku amounts of money. I just really want to be visible, and, like you said, like, so somebody can see somebody, like, see themselves in somebody like them coming up. And that could be, just somebody like a black kid or a trans kid, a black and trans kid, just whatever, so they could see somebody, see themselves in somebody, because I know things take time and things take to get off the ground. So I just want growth and visibility. I just want people like to get out there and for people to see the brand and really rally behind me and support me, because that's really all I want. Like, when people organically support you, like, the wealth will come. So I just want that support. Like, I need like, a tribe behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need this to be Wakanda forever, So
right.
Basically, yeah, that's going into the next year, I just want growth and visibility.
That's dope. So what I'm going to do is, of course, I have to link all the things, put all the information in my show notes so people will know how to find you. But go ahead and let everybody know where they can find you on social media. And then I'll make sure that I, include the info too.
Yeah. So the business page for the paper company is on Instagram is at @the_paper_co, and that's on IG. On Facebook, it's at the Paper Co brand. Actually, no, I think it's just Paper Co brand. I've changed it so many times. And my personal page on IG is King XaChris. So it's King XaChris. Chris with the C, and basically I have all the links there. I'm running like a ton of promotions now, because basically the only way you can really get seen now is if you pay for promotion. So like I've got like 3 or 4 promotions running on my page, my Facebook, my Instagram, just everything. Just trying to, like I said, get that visibility out there.
Right. So let me go ahead and talk over there.
Right. I'm also giving out like because of the launch, like I do have a code. It's launch day 18, and that gets you $10 off your entire order. So $10 off whatever you order, $10 off.
I love this logo. Like every time I see it, I'm so dope. This logo is so dope.
Thank you.
So
appreciate it.
I've went ahead and slid on over to this good old Instagram.
I saw it. I saw it pop up. Like, okay.
I'm gonna need to cop something. But yeah, I definitely think it's awesome. I have to pass on information. I think it's very important that, of course, we support Black business, support Black trans business. So I'm all for it. And I think that, my listeners will be able to find something that they like. So that's why I wanted to have you on. And I wanted it to be, pretty close to the launch. So that way folks can kind of go ahead and check it out. I think it's hilarious that you put "This Ain't Dunder Mifflin."
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Hey.
Yeah, so I hope that folks, cop some stuff, because, I love the designs. I know I'm super biased, but hey, whatever. Gotta support.
Hey, right. And I appreciate it. Like, when you was like, would I want to come back on? Like, yeah, like, why wouldn't I? Like, like I say, this is, this is like coming home to family. Like, I dig it.
We got to have our reunions from time to time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to have you back on. So just be ready.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make sure I post all the information. Of course, I appreciate you being willing to come back on. And I'm really excited just to see where the paper company is going to go. And just to see more people learn about it and, get, and wear your designs. I mean, I think that's what's the really dope thing, is to actually see people wearing what you put your heart into, what you put your passion into. So that's really cool.
Yes. So, I love it when people tag me. It's like, what? You bought it and you put it on and you tag me? Ooh, all right.
Yeah, because it's like people, it's different, you do clothing because people get to walk around wearing your art, So
right. Exactly. And like, and I saw you had posted, and so like, I shared it on my Instagram, and like, I realized like people like, I don't have to say names or anything, but I realized like, I supported a lot of people before, like not saying, I'm not expecting anything, but you just support people and that's what you do. But it's like, it'd be kind of, you'd be feeling some type of way when a person don't support you back, but then you just move on and you just know. But it's like, for me, like, it's like, I can be, like I said, I got all these promotions going on, but in the midst of that, I can still promote other people, because it's like, I want to see us all win. So it's like, I posted your stuff, and this girl had hit me up, was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm a go, buy something once, I put the kids down. I was like, yeah, but check out our podcast too. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the podcast as well. You know what I'm saying? Buy some stuff, but listen to the podcast as well. So
start with my episode.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I plugged that in there.
It's a good place.
I was like, it's good. I was like, and I was a guest on the episode. So she was like, oh, okay. She's like, which one? So I told her, but I'm just like, like, support her brand as a whole, you know what I'm saying? Because she's doing it, you know what I'm saying? And it, like, like another one of my friends, she has like this skincare company, and, I just been promoting her, and, she's doing all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, I want us all to win. So it's like, I'm going to promote the shit out of everybody. I'm rooting for everybody Black.
Right, so, yeah. Exactly. For real.
So
I
it's
don't feel
like
like
that's
it's not a question to me. It's like I'm trying to support all my people. I want to see all of us
right,
eat. Let's make
right.
this.
Exactly. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, so putting the emphasis on support. Like, all I need is your support. You don't have to buy nothing. Just share it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I really need. Like, you don't even have to buy nothing. Like, support is free. Like, just support. Like, but I really appreciate this. Like, 'cause you've been very supportive and just, getting to come back on here and talk with you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always a good time. I'm about to share this link. Cop me a shirt. Like, I don't know what nobody else doing.
Right.
Get this, the Black Queen dipped in gold. I'm gonna need that in my life.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get something. But yeah, I definitely, as always, appreciate you being on. I'm gonna include all the links in the show notes so that y'all can go cop some merchandise. And yeah, we'll just see. I think too, it's a good thing to get in early, because don't be trying to act like you was down for the cause. Once you see the blow up and the glow up, don't be trying to act like
right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've been down from the beginning. Nah. You gotta get in now to be down from the beginning.
Exactly. So go do that. But thank you for being on. And I think that's it for me. I'm gonna, just do some shopping, do some sharing, and all that good stuff. And
all right.
That's it, y'all.
All right. Well, bye everybody. And thanks again for having me.
But of course.
Black Radical Queer Podcast is all about intersectionality and Black queer folks sharing our stories on our own terms. We navigate an array of identities, and BRQ is an outlet where we can see the spectrum of those identities reflected, explored, and celebrated. Black Radical Queer is a ManeHustle Media podcast hosted by Javia Nicole, produced and edited by Charmaine Johnson. Music is by Publicity. You can find us on social media by looking up Black Rad Queer. It's BLK RAD QWR. We are on Facebook as well as Instagram and Twitter. Same handle regardless, at Black Rad Queer. BLK RAD QWR. We also have a Facebook discussion group that's just called BRQ Discussion Group. And you can also listen wherever you get your podcasts. So we're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, Google Play, all those types of things. And we have, our home base that's on Libsyn, so you can listen on there as well. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Make sure you come on back around next week to see what we have for you. And all right, y'all, I'm out. ManeHustle Media. Turn your side hustle into your main hustle.